Today I'm going to take you on a little trip to some of the locations in West Kirby behind the novel Hope is a Six-Letter Word. But I think to set the scene, to start off, let me give you the opening of the novel. Prologue, Middle 8, Regrets. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I take my earphones out and let them hang. What a damn stupid lyric. If he apparently has too few regrets to mention, then why is he mentioning them at all? Je ne regrette rien would make far more sense if he was going to insist on going down that particular route. I allow myself a small, self-satisfied smile at the observation. It fades along with the music buzzing tinnily from the dangling wires. I have a few regrets myself, but unlike Frank, I don't mind mentioning them, or pondering them anyway. First, I didn't learn any French at school. Second, I don't always explain things very well. Third, I think too much. Also, I'm 31 years old, sat on a rock and listening to a depressingly deliberate mix of emotional songs on a Walkman. I haven't sketched or painted anything for 2 years now. And I still use a Walkman in the year 2000. I have one child, a son, and another, a daughter this time, on the way. That's the opening lines from Hope is a Six-Letter Word, and sets the scene quite well for the themes which are recurrent throughout the novel about identity, regret, feelings, music and family. So what I've done is shot a few different clips from the key locations in West Kirby, and we'll go to those now.
Hi, so today we're going to a couple of the locations for the novel Hope is a Six-Letter Word. This is from the section of the book where our protagonists visit West Kirby. So we're going to go to the place of the squirrels and to the island where the key action takes place. This rather beautiful location is Ashton Park in West Kirby, with a little boating lake behind me with a load of ducks and geese. And we're going to head to the far end of this little lake at the moment and have a look at the area where Will and the girls sit and where they encounter the squirrels. Moving along just a little, we have the bench which is occupied by Will and the girl, where they discuss life and they eat their breakfast. There's a little bowling green which they overlook where they're sat, and I'm spinning around at the minute and I'm not actually sitting there because there are people occupying the seats. But what you can see, this is where they're sitting by the bins initially, is that little area at the back that we're going to walk over to in a moment, which is where they encounter the squirrels, and perhaps they get an insight into each other's characters a little more than in their own interactions. And here we are again at the squirrel end of the park. It's just such a beautiful location that I had to include it. It's an area that I knew quite well growing up, and always seemed to be a sort of escape from reality. Just over the Wirral Way, which is on the right hand side of here, is the Wirral Tennis Club and another section of park. And this is the bowling green. This doesn't technically feature in the book, but I think it's worthwhile enjoying and taking in anyway because it's such a lovely view of the lake. So behind me you can see one of the pathways into the woods where you can sneak in at one end of the park. A little tip for you, if you're a fan of the little rodents yourself, almost any time of year you can find squirrels here. So I'm going to go through in a moment and hopefully I'll film one for you, or two. There may even be the ones in the book, who knows. I don't know if you can see coming down the tree trunk at the moment. We're going to see whether we can move in, whether they're going to let us. Just at the bottom of the tree trunk here. Hopefully he's not going to run away. Yep, there's one on the other side as well. I told you there's always squirrels here. And here they go. He's coming down into the light. With any luck he'll stay long enough to be our friend. So here we are, having come straight into the woods, and we can see the squirrels, and there's some leaves being dropped as well by squirrels further up the tree. Now they're going to bolt and run away any minute, but with any luck our little friend here is going to pose for us first and be our friend. There we go, maybe he's even one of the ones who appears in the book. And This is the front of West Kirby, which has sadly changed greatly since my day. You can see the Wales in the distance behind me and the marine lake, and this is one of the key locations for Hope is a 6-letter word. Just in the distance behind me, and we'll head that way in a moment so you can see a bit closer, is Hilbury Island, or more specifically Hilbury Islands, which are 3 small islands which are cut off during high tide, but you can walk out there during low tide. It's a couple of miles out to the first island, and then you can stay there surrounded by the waters and cut off from everything apart from the seals, and this is one of the key locations, so I thought you might like to see it for yourself, so I'll head that way now. As I take you along the front, you can see the row of concrete benches which now adorn the seaside part of the flood defences, I assume. Unfortunately, and this is one of the things you can never foresee when you're writing a book, the front had old style shelters that you could sit under in the rain, wooden benches and things at the time that I wrote, which is set now. They vanished in the last year, but we won't talk about that. Ruining my book for no good reason. Some areas have changed here as well, but you can see the estuary and Wales in the far distance. What you should just be able to pick out, coming into frame from the right at the moment, is the bright yellow of Little Eye, the smallest of Hilbury's islands, followed by the 2 larger islands, which are totally cut off, where you'll find the lifeboat station, which is mentioned in the book, where the key events take place and where they try to head back. In the very distance you may also be able to spot the windmills, which are just beyond the seal banks, and if we pan around further you can see there are even more windmills on the right hand side, and then the beach leading back into West Kirby itself.